A lot of bills down here in the General Assembly, and Loretta Boniti, senior political reporter for News 14 Carolina, debuts on Legislative Week in Review, and I could turn the table for a change. Loretta, what do you make of the session a month in?
Well, I feel like it's moving along pretty quickly. They had a couple big bills that they wanted to do right off the top of the session. You know, the Medicaid, Medicare bill, that one was obviously a top priority for them, get that taken care of right away. And we saw bills getting rolled out really quickly. I think we're starting to hit this lull where we're going to start noticing that they're working behind the scenes a lot on those big bills.
Yeah, I've heard lawmakers say, hey, we're getting accused of being too fast. I see the calendar. I see a lot of bills filed, but the committee meetings this week were relatively sparse.
Yeah, this week was, by legislative terms, a slow week. There was not a lot that happened this week. The biggest news this week was a press conference about voter ID, that they're going to start working on that bill. But as far as the actual bills that were voted on and debated, really.
Voter ID, the schedule looks like it's going to be a multi-month process. Why would Republicans keep it going that long, you think?
They want to look like they're trying to reach across the aisle. We're going to see a voter ID bill that has photo identification in it. There's no question about that. They're saying that. Democrats are saying, you put that in there, we're not voting for this bill. But they want to at least reach out to the people on the other side of the aisle. Perhaps we'll see a few tweaks here and there that will make it a little more palatable, but this is the effort to look like we're reaching across the aisle.
How will Democrats play? I had Larry Hall on this week's show, but how will Democrats play this issue? They don't have enough votes by a mile to stop this.
They're going to be noisy. It's going to be really noisy from their side of the aisle about disenfranchising voters, suppressing the vote, that Republicans are doing this simply so that they can stay in power. They're creating a problem that isn't there. They're going to get every expert they possibly can to come in and say, there's no need for this here in North Carolina. It's going to be very loud. I'm sure we'll see rallies about this issue. We did 2 years ago. In the end, not going to make any difference.
You know, the voter ID will be coming along around late March. The budget is supposed to come out from the governor in, a week or so from now, on probably a Monday morning. It's all going to converge. And out there, unspoken for the last 3 weeks, is tax reform.
Well, that's right. We kind of thought for a while here all of these bills were coming out in the beginning. It was so busy so that we would forget that, hey, there's this huge issue that's been going on for years and years and years behind the scene that everyone's talking about. It's quieting down now. So I think now is when we're wondering, are we going to hear more about tax reform? Will we start hearing how the House and Senate are talking about this? Because we hear a lot from the Senate leaders about what they want to do. They want to zero this out. They want to zero that out. We're not hearing as much from the House specifically what they want. And we think that the bill that they want to put out, they want it to be them to kind of be on the same page when that bill is introduced.
But I was in a meeting where the rules chairman of the Senate, Tom Apodaca, goes into the House committee, dresses them down in a nice way, because he does that with a smile on his face, and then he leaves. So now these bigger bills are coming, and he's already said this is not a way to run a session or start the session. So
everybody's been waiting for this. Everybody keeps saying, when are we going to see that there's a rift between the Republicans in the House, Republicans in the Senate? We saw it with Democrats when they had the House and Senate. We finally saw it this year come to light, and I definitely think that tax reform, we'll see it more.
I've seen some Democratic-themed tweets saying there is a rift. What's the difference in a rift and a debate?
I think the difference is whether or not there's any hard feelings, really. I mean, a debate is a debate, and you want these leaders to debate amongst themselves. You don't want everybody to be on the same page for everything, exactly. But when you see with Tom Apodaca come into a room and is visibly upset with what has happened to his bill, I mean, he's not happy with the Republicans in the House for what they did.
Loretta Boniti, News 14 Carolina. Watch if you're a Time Warner Cable subscriber, and thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.